CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Makovec.
Right now on the afternoon edition, it is the hottest day of the week. Taking a live look around the Bay Area, we are tracking this mini heat wave that is bringing some triple-digit temps to some of our warmest inland spots. Thanks for joining us this Thursday. Let's get right over to meteorologist Zoe Mintz with more on the big warm-up and when and where we can expect some relief. You've been warning us about this, Zoe.
Yes, but it's only really one day. Maybe a little bit more heat into tomorrow as well, but overall it's going to be pretty seasonable conditions. A couple of degrees above average, yes, but honestly, compared to the record-breaking highs that we normally see this time of year, it's about 10 degrees shy of that. This afternoon, our high temperatures sitting in the 60s, closer to our coastal communities, North Bay communities, upper 80s to low 90s, and then the inland East Bay communities. This is where the heat is really going to begin to build and where there are going to be issues when it comes to heat safety, because triple digits from places like Fairfield over to Antioch, extended period of time outdoors means that you definitely have to keep it safe out there. So any outdoor activities inland, you might want to head on over to the coast to actually enjoy some more comfortable heat out there. San Francisco will be near 70 today, and then coastal communities near 60. Along the coastal communities, this is where temperatures are going to be a degree or two within normal, but the farther inland you go, that's where you get to about 10 to 15 degrees above average for this time of year. Like I said, it will stick around tomorrow, but there is going to be a cool down just in time for the weekend. I'll let you know what you can expect coming up in my full forecast. Back to you.
Thank you, Zoe. We are following a major ruling today. A federal judge has put a new nationwide pause on President Trump's attempt to end birthright citizenship. The president's executive order would deny citizenship to children born in the U.S. to people who are in the country illegally. Since Trump issued that order, federal judges have issued 40 injunctions stopping it from taking effect. But this is the first ruling since the Supreme Court limited the power of judges to issue nationwide injunctions. CBS Justice correspondent Scott McFarland explains why this case is different.
What the Supreme Court prescribed was that if you want to issue an injunction that impacts the entire nation, we're more likely to let it stand if it's a class action case, one that kind of transcends state borders, state lines, and district lines. And that's what happened here. After that Supreme Court ruling, a group filed a class action suit to stop the administration from limiting or stopping birthright citizenship.
Well, the judge ordered class action status be certified in the case for any child that would be affected by the restrictions. The federal government has 1 week to appeal, and the issue could end up back in front of the Supreme Court. Also, the Trump administration taking aim at California's animal cruelty laws. Voters here overwhelmingly approved 2 measures in 2008 and 2018 that allow chickens in California enough room to spread their wings. Well, the feds are now suing the state and the governor over those rules, saying they are making eggs too expensive nationwide. In a post on X, Newsom's press office wrote that President Trump is back to his favorite hobby, blaming California for literally everything. Next up, Gavin Newsom caused the fall of Rome and sent the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. It's the end of that tweet. A pair of smash and grabs overnight targeting gas stations in East Oakland. Here's a look at the damage after a car drove through the storefront of an AM/PM on Hagenberger Road. That happened just before 2 a.m. A clerk says he ran to the back when he saw a group of people in black ski masks get out of multiple cars just outside of the store. Shortly after, he heard a loud crash and found an SUV in the store. The clerk thinks they were after the ATM. Not clear if anything else was stolen. Nobody was hurt, but we're told this is the second time this has happened at that same location. A similar thing happened not too far away at another AM/PM on MacArthur Boulevard. A Honda SUV rammed into the building at around 3 a.m. last night. The owner of the car says she reported it stolen from San Leandro. Not clear, according to police yet, if these 2 robberies are connected. We've reached out to them for more information. And in Contra Costa County, 1 person was hurt in a freeway shooting just after midnight. Black Tesla driving northbound on 680 near Stone Valley Road in Alamo when shots were fired from a dark-colored sedan. The CHP says 3 to 6 shots were fired at that driver and the passenger side. The Tesla driver was hit in the head. The person was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. The 2 others in the car were not hurt. And the CHP believes that this was a random shooting, not the result of road rage. Police in San Francisco asking for help finding a 15-year-old girl who's been missing for a month. Police say Jennifer Garcias and Guri was reported missing by her mother on Friday, June 6th. She was last seen on Sunnydale Avenue in the Crocker Amazon neighborhood. Police say she's known to hang out on Taylor Street in the Civic Center area of San Francisco. Well, things may be starting to smell pretty rotten in neighborhoods around the Bay Area. The trash is starting to pile up in several cities. As our Veronica Macias reports, the delay is because of a sanitation worker strike that isn't even in our backyard.
In the Bay Area, you have a total of 11 cities where trash is not being picked up, and it's starting to pile up, like at dumpsters here in Fremont along Maury Avenue. You have this shopping center where you have multiple dumpsters and just really a gross situation with this trash going to be baking in the sun later today. Well, we're not seeing any strikes in the Bay Area. The end result, all the same. Trash workers are letting trash sit as a sign of solidarity for workers who marched off the job with Republic Service in the East Coast and in Stockton. We spoke with a representative from the Teamsters on the East Coast this morning who tells us they want better pay, benefits, and protections. They claim that the company is refusing to pay the state rate for them. We also reached out to Republic Service but have not heard back. Yesterday, here in Fremont, we found people already starting to bring in their bins despite the trash not being picked up. And given the uncertainty, the city of Fremont is actively exploring potential service options. On their website, they say they're working with the company in an effort to restore service as quickly as possible. But this could continue and become a sanitation problem in the next coming days or even weeks. So there is free drop-off at the Fremont Recycling and Transfer Station. That's located at 41149 Boyce Road in Fremont. Yesterday, we met people who say they like to do lots of yard work and they're going to do their best to not accumulate too much trash in the time being.
For however long it takes to settle the union disagreement, it piles up quickly, especially with all the things that come in boxes these days. And our cleanup around our yard fills up every week.
So again, these piles of trash that we're seeing in Fremont, not just a problem here, but trash accumulating in cities like Daly City, Richmond, Newark, Half Moon Bay. The Teamsters here say they are standing in solidarity with the workers over in Stockton who feel like they are engaged in a just fight.
Well, still ahead here at noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area, AI in the air. We're going to introduce you to a Bay Area innovator and pilot using the tech to try to make the skies safer by helping pilots with a little ground support. Taking a live look at Oakland's International Airport, where officials are going to be discussing a new proposed name change today. A legal battle with San Francisco stalled the airport's last attempt. Port officials now want to call it Oakland San Francisco Bay Airport with the goal of attracting more travelers. It puts Oakland first, and they're hoping that will avoid another lawsuit from San Francisco. Now to a local innovator who is stepping up for pilots with a little ground support. Our Max Darrow introduces us to one impressive 18-year-old.
There is a lot that fuels humans' fascination with flight. And for 18-year-old Maizan Rupan Tompkins, that fascination stems from a feeling.
Just the feeling, I'm just like almost being on top of the world.
And from science.
And how planes just take off and all the principles on just aerodynamics.
Maizan is a young pilot with a background in computer science and AI, and he says he's developed an AI tool called Stratus that will make aviation safer. The idea stemmed from his own in-flight experiences.
I personally came across multiple mid-air collisions, so that was one of the main inspirations where I do not want any other pilot to experience something I felt. Currently with airports, there's barely any AI integration, so I feel like just making a small step and improving safety and safety nets can help a lot.
Stratus is a real-time autonomous co-pilot system that uses AI to listen to and understand pilot comms and flag abnormalities before they become dangerous in situations where there is no air traffic controller. Maizan says while major airports have dedicated air traffic control, 85% of airports throughout the country are either low-resourced or totally untowered.
But uncontrolled means there's actually no one that has jurisdiction over your communications. It's kind of free form. So you speak over, it's called a CTAF, a Common Traffic Advisory Frequency, and you announce your, let's say, your decisions to everyone on this frequency.
Most of the regional airports in the Bay Area are towered.
So yeah, that right there, that's the San Carlos Airport Tower.
However,
there are airports such as Half Moon Bay or Byron, which are in the Bay Area, which are non-towered airports. But airports such as Hayward or Reed Hillview, after hours, they do become untowered.
I think there's a huge use for that. I think he's really onto something with this.
Scott Miller is a commercial airline pilot, aviation lecturer at San Jose State University, and flight instructor. He says there already is a very high level of safety in aviation, but upon first look, he's really enthusiastic about Maizan's idea.
Never contemplated having AI monitor uncontrolled fields and be able to actually activate a response. Beautiful.
Maizan says his AI tool will not replace controllers, but rather aid them and support pilots in places they don't exist.
This is not powered by, let's say, just large language models, but rather statistical machine learning models that are based on historic flight training data. Even if it's like 1% or 2% increase in safety can help out and go a long ways.
A young innovator, hopeful his technology takes off, making the skies safer, one flight at a time.
All right, back to our first alert weather. Taking another live look outside at the city of San Francisco. You can see that fog hanging out there in the background, but otherwise it is heating up almost all around the Bay Area. Meteorologist Zoe Mintz has a look at some of our microclimates at play here, Zoe.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be about a 40-degree temperature spread from our coastal communities to our inland areas this afternoon. It all has to do with the impacts of the ocean and the marine layer. And you could see that marine layer, it was pretty tight early this morning to our coastal communities. It has officially peeled back, though, and it's just now streaming through the Golden Gate, and it's going to continue to peel back throughout this afternoon hours. So everybody, at least along the coast, should begin to see more sunshine over the next several hours, allowing our temperatures to warm up. We're still in the mid-60s in San Francisco, but likely going to be reaching 70 in downtown. Inland areas already in the low 80s that are likely going to be in the triple digits later this afternoon. Again, it is going to be heating up, definitely above what we've been feeling over the past several days for our inland East Bay communities. Those high temperatures sitting in the upper 90s to triple digits, even some 90s across our North Bay communities. And then down into our Santa Clara Valley, we'll be seeing those upper 80s and 90s as well. So inland areas, these are the places that you do have to practice heat safety, or just take a short drive on over to the coast where those temperatures are only going to be in the mid-60s, or head on over to San Francisco, 70 degrees. That's not too bad here. It's a couple of degrees above average, and tomorrow is kind of going to be a rinse and repeat of today. We'll be once again seeing those high temperatures well above average farther inland, sitting in the upper 90s to near triple digits, and then low 60s closer to our coastal communities. These, again, about 40-degree temperature spreads will stick around through the later parts of this upcoming week. So keep that in mind for any outdoor plans. And if you maybe want to enjoy the full moon out there tonight, it is going to officially be full technically this afternoon, but it will rise above the horizon at about 9:02 this evening, and it will be really low on the horizon. In fact, some of the lowest that it's been over the past 18 years. It's known as a major lunar standstill because it's going to be especially low in the sky, and because it's so low in the sky, it's actually going to have more of a reddish hue to it as it rises tonight. So it's going to be a really, really cool sight this evening, along with some warm air to go along with it. Those temperatures will begin to cool down into this upcoming weekend, dropping by about 10 degrees into Saturday and finally more seasonable into Sunday as well. As usual, head on over to the coast to enjoy the more comfortable heat and get ready for foggier conditions arriving as soon as Sunday, and enjoy the sunny skies until then. Back to you.
Thanks, Zoe. A case for freedom. We're going to introduce you to a former prosecutor working for the release of offenders that she herself helped put in jail. Well, a former San Francisco prosecutor says that she had a realization that when a person is sentenced and goes to prison, it's not the end of their story. In fact, it could be just the beginning. Sharon Chin introduces us to this week's CBS News Bay Area Icon Award winner.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Former prosecutor Hillary Blount says she gained a fresh understanding of the transformation that can happen in prison when she visited San Quentin.
And I met so many men that just seemed that they'd be better in our community, giving back, than languishing and wasting away in prison.
Hillary learned the people she met had served years for their crimes, but still had decades left in their sentence. And that didn't seem right.
I felt a lot of shame. I have sent people to prison. I felt that it was my responsibility to do something about it.
She crafted a unique law that passed in 2018 that allows prosecutors to take a look back at their old cases and request resentencing for those who've rehabilitated. And she started the Oakland-based nonprofit For the People.
So we started For the People with a very simple mission, which is to identify and support the safe release of people from prison that don't need to be there.
For the People has helped pass prosecutor resentencing laws in California and 5 other states. The nonprofit's worked with about 60 prosecutors around the nation to resentence more than 1,000 people. Many of those freed had served years for robbery, burglary, or 3 strikes convictions. Resentencing considers outdated laws, the person's past, the crime, rehabilitation, re-entry plan, and victims' input.
We work with prosecutors to be a part of going back to court, saying that, Your Honor, I asked this person to be sent away, and now I am asking this person to be released because it is in the benefit of the community that this person be home.
People like Troy Dunmore, who got 65 years to life for robbery in 1995. But in prison, he dealt with his anger and addiction and embraced education.
It was just about to be a better person in there because I was tired of everything that I was doing, and my life was always failure.
He'd served 26 years and had at least 39 more to go when he was resentenced in 2021. He was going home.
Wow. Shocked. This is my office right here.
Today, he is a drug counselor in San Francisco's Tenderloin and works toward a college degree, thanks to support from his family, For the People, and social workers.
It feels like I'm on the path that I'm supposed to be on right now.
Yeah.
And the success stories bring Hillary joy.
They're really monumental celebrations of just being free and not having to be behind bars anymore.
So for creating a new criminal justice reform tool for the people, this week's CBS News Bay Area Icon Award goes to Hillary Blount.
And you can nominate a local hero for a CBS News Bay Area Icon Award on our website, kpix.com/icon. Jimmy Butler bringing his signature coffee to the Bay. We're going to take you to the Mission next. Big Face Coffee is now in the Bay. It's Golden State Warriors stars Jimmy Butler's coffee brand. It started as a pop-up in his hotel room during the 2020 NBA bubble. Its popularity has turned the shop into what they call a lifestyle brand, which emphasizes community and a high-quality coffee experience. Nothing but the best. That is it for the afternoon edition this Thursday. Remember, we are streaming 24/7 on the free CBS News app.